Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Misfit One Lifestyles with your host, Elizabeth Colin, also known as Misfit One. Guys, all right. Today, we are going to be talking to someone that you must know. Not you must know, you gotta know. Listen, we have the one and only Justin Frandson. How are you?
Amazing, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me on.
I am so happy you are here today. Listen, for you guys that don't know him, let him introduce himself.
Yeah, I'm an athleticism performance coach, started athleticism.com 25 years ago out of your old stomping ground, Scripps Clinic in La Jolla, California. Working with amateur and professional athletes, do nerve work for sports performance, I treat concussions. We do some pretty wild stuff with athletes. And what got me into EMF space is I saw them wearing wearable technology. Like the thing on your wrist, by the way.
I know, I read that. So we gonna get all into it because this is I don't know, Justin. This is part of who I am.
Okay, I'm gonna change that.
Okay.
Because once you know, you can't unknow.
I know. That's so maybe I don't want to hear this, but I have to. Knowledge is power. And not only, you have your company is EMFRocks or
EMFRocks. EMFRocks.
EMFRocks. And what's so great about this is, like we're starting to say, that you use light, sound, and frequencies and vibrations to facilitate healing. And you got into that because of the wearables. Oh, God. I was trying to prolong that.
Sorry.
You want to just jump right in?
Yeah. So the guy said, Justin, he was one of the strongest, fittest professional athletes, endurance athletes. We'd seen him come through the program. He's like, I got pain on my wrist. And he goes, my whole arm's weak. And I look down and I go, well, let's take that radiation off your wrist. And the pain went away. So there you go. And that was like years ago when, like a decade plus ago, when this whole Fitbit thing, they were having recalls and all that stuff. And they were just too strong of signals. And he was just more EMF sensitive. And it was affecting that was his environment, and the radiation was affecting his body, the energy in his body. So I decided to dive into it and go, hey, what's the difference? Like, how are we made, and how is this electricity made, and how is it affecting us? And so that's what we're here to share today.
Yeah, that's it. You hit the three topics. So let's go with topic number one. When we talk about wearables, and this is no plug. Anybody who know me know that I have been wearing an Apple Watch. I started off with the Fitbit. But then when the Apple came out, it was so much better. So I've been having Apple from ground zero. So I probably am full of radiation. I'm probably full of radiation. But let's talk a little bit about these devices and what is it that we don't know we're doing while wearing these?
Well, there's a couple different things. So it's a different waveform. It's radiation. It's polarizing for our body. And then it's tracking and tracing every movement. So what I just want to let people know is you got to lean in and know how you feel, know how many steps you take, connect to God, connect to the earth's resonance and get grounded, and know how you feel, when you need to eat, how you slept. You can't look anymore for something to tell you how you feel. That's not okay. That's a meta universe. That's what they want to get you hooked on.
Pause right there, Justin. Please pause right there. And I am going to save this soundbite for my husband. I don't use mine for my walks and stuff. I don't care about that. I don't care about my sleep and stuff on that. But my husband, if I ask him literally this morning, how did you sleep, babe? I don't know. I didn't have my watch on. What? What did you need your watch for? Well, it tells me how many rims I get. I'm like, no. Can't you just feel how did you sleep? So that is a very valid point. You guys, there's a nugget right there. Listen to your body and don't rely on that. Like he said, you know if you slept well or not.
Totally. You wake, you jump out of bed, you're good to go. And if you didn't, you had a crappy night's sleep. You bogged in, you slept in late. Like, it's not that hard to figure out. So, and then if you need it, so look, we've been working with athletes for 25 years. Establish a baseline, use the technology, baseline, maybe a midpoint, definitely an endpoint, but not an everyday thing. That's not okay. Like, you got to establish these baselines and go, okay, I know what 1,000 steps is like. Okay, I know what a fast mile is like. I know what eating a proper meal is like, or how good sleep it feels. So lean into how you feel and knowing how you feel.
I love that. And that's facts, because I don't use it for those things, but I do track my workouts. I don't care about how many I walk. I walk all the time. And that's so funny when people say, how many steps? I don't know. I could care less about steps, but I do use it as my performance, my baseline. Am I improving in my performance? Am I slugging? What's going on? That is in writing, because I'm old and I might forget. Like, oh, I was killing it. And then they're like, no, ma'am, you actually went down. So I just needed, that is what I use mine for. So now that we know the best way to kind of look at it and not have it run our world, right? When it's right. to do stuff, how are we going to then kind of wean ourselves from it? Because a lot of people are addicted.
Yeah, it's an addiction, man. People are like, oh, I can't give away my Tesla. I can't get rid of my smartwatch. I'm like, this is it. I think understanding the science behind it will help. So let me jump into that, because this is where it gets really simple. If I drop a pebble in a pond, Elizabeth, does a splash of the pond go in a circular resonance out in every direction?
Right.
Yes. Okay. Why doesn't it go in a straight line to the right or left? Why? Because that's not how that's not how we're made. Okay. No. We're not made that way. We're not made with straight line resonances. Our universe and us are one. We're made on scalar waves. They're unpolarized waveforms. They distribute equally in every direction. Does your chi, does your energy field, your biofield go out in a straight line to the right of your head? No, it goes out like every direction. We can feel your energy. You're way more than 6 feet around dynamic, which is, good chi. So, but that's the framework of our universe. They're called unpolarized waves that distribute equal in every direction. They travel through our air, which is ether or plasma, and waves and particles. So every living organism is connected and has a resonance. And we call it the living collective intelligence matrix, where we're all connected. We can all connect, with everybody. I could treat clients remotely. I've treated concussions remotely. And so that's how, is through these scalar waves, through unpolarized waves. The sun, again, another example, it's not a laser beam coming at you. it refracts, it distributes equally in every direction. There's a window right here. I can still see light underneath my hand, unpolarized. If it was just a laser, you couldn't see anything behind it. But all these man-made radiation or electromagnetic fields, we call them EMFs, they are all one directional waveforms, or they don't work. Okay, so that's right out of the gate, that's the difference. They're polarizing, they're 10 zeros faster than us. The wireless ones they chip away at our life force and our health. So all cell tower panels, look at them. They have them facing every single direction, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because they're one directional waveforms. It's just how they're made, but we're not made that way.
That is deep, guys. My God. And what I love about that is because you think about it for just a second. We really are. Like, I know I'm big all over, like I'm I'm never just one way. You feel me all the way around. and that's if I'm happy, woo! If I'm angry, woo! It's just, it's like a whole thing around me. So that is a good way to look at it, because when we use those things for healing, like when you use sound for healing, how do you translate that for the good?
Well, so there's different bandwidths of waveforms. So the electricity that we're challenged with are different speeds. So electricity and magnetic, that's they measure in milligauss, so like 50 to 60 waves per second. The wireless signals are measured in, I should say, dirty electricity is 4,000 to 100,000 waves per second, and the wireless is like 50 million to billions of waves per second. 5G is 60 to 90 billion waves per second. And just to give you an idea of how we rev, wait one quick sec on our brainwave state. So when we're sleeping, so when we're our brainwave state, you're familiar with the delta and theta brainwave states, right?
Right, but make sure you clear that for everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we sleep, we have a low and slow brainwave state. It's called delta, which is 1 or below 1 to 4 hertz or waves per second. Theta would be about 4 to 8 hertz or waves per second, is the speed of that waveform. The resonance of the earth, we call it the Schumann resonance. It's a healing pulse of the earth. It changes different seasons, but it's about 7.83 hertz or waves per second. So we rev really one with the universe. So we do best when we're outside. When our athletes are in a flow state and they can't miss, their brainwave state's in an alpha brainwave state. It's about 8 to 12 hertz or waves per second. And when we're more awake, we're in a beta state. So we have these different states of waveforms that our brain's in for how alert we are, or how grounded and in the flow state we are, or in a restful state.
Right. And what's great?
So 10 zeros, like faster, 10 zeros, holy crap, of a polarizing charge. That's what a 5G is. That's what a cell phone is. That's what we're dealing with. So when we're trying to sleep, for instance, we got 10 zeros tapping us on our shoulder saying, hey, Elizabeth, talk to me all night long. And your brain's going, what's pinging me? I want to get into my deep restorative sleep. So we wake up and we go into what we call a twilight sleep. So we don't get in that deep restorative sleep. This is really simple stuff, but that's why. And then you accumulate that over years of sleeping with your smartwatch right next to your head, or your phone underneath the pillow, or on your end table. Like, it's messing with your sleep, and it's disrupting your hormones, and it's disrupting the body. And I'll get into that in a second.
Well, right. Well, because I got questions, Justin. I got questions. You listen. I love all the numbers you threw out there. So I was like, wow. I didn't understand none of that.
You didn't understand it? No. How? Wait. So this is how you chew on it. This is how we.
I was going to say, can you break that down in girl math?
Okay, waves per second. Can't get any more simple. Okay, like this is this is where we're at. So this
I
is
know wave per wave per second.
so I'm taking what we're doing is we're saying, okay, this is 2.45 gigahertz.
And you're saying
Like
your phone.
what the heck does that mean? That's the speed of the waveforms coming at it.
Got you.
Okay, I'm converting what these things are going at into a wave per second, which everyone can understand how many waves go by in 1 second. When we're sleeping, it's 1 wave per second to 8. When we're in a flow state in the zone, athletes, it's 8 to 12. They can't miss. There's 8 to 12 waves, going by. This is billions of waves per second. 5G is 60 to 90 billions per second. That's 10 zeros faster. So if I add 10 zeros to your bank account, is that a big difference? Yeah.
You can do it though. I won't stop you on that.
I know. Please.
Justin, go ahead. No.
Yeah.
What is important is I got it.
It messes with our body at 10 zeros per waves per second, though. So of a polarizing waveform, that's what we're getting at.
Now you're speaking to me. I hear you now, Justin. Listen, maybe it's just me. I know all of my audience is so much smarter than me. That's why I love them. Because when you come on here, I need you to break it down for me.
Got it.
For me, so I can understand. I think it's important that you say that, because I'm going to go back to my husband's example. I dream every night. I dream every night. I don't wear my watch. My watch is charging. My husband sleeps with his watch on and he never gets to dream. He never goes to his deep sleep. And I think that is so crazy, because I now am putting what you're saying about that tap on the shoulder. Hey, 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 ding, ding,
Talk
ding,
to me. Talk to me.
Ding, 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 ding. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. And that is why he can't sleep. So that is a great, great point, because we've all heard that have better sleep. Don't sleep with your phone next to your under your pillow. Don't keep it on your end table. We've all heard those things. But now Justin just turned on the lights, baby. We know numbers behind it and why it makes sense. So now let's talk about it. Now that I feel so educated right now. Ooh, wee. So now that we talked about that, talk about how we as humans operate. That's what you were going to start talking about.
Yeah. So the challenge is that we do really well with unpolarized waves. So when you introduce these one directional, they mess with our body in so many different ways. And our own government set procedural levels of what's ionizing and creates a thermal effect versus what's non-ionizing. And then they're like, that's okay. But that's not true. There's a guy named Dr. Martin Pall out of Washington State University. He discovered that even low-level EMFs cause a secondary effect with a vibration in our body, and they directly affect our mitochondria function. So they call it the voltage-gated calcium channel. So that's basically the gateway for your cells to get energy, is affected right out of the gate. So it calcifies our pineal gland. It destructures water. It's an oxidative stress. It messes with our mitochondria function. So right out of the gates, that's what these signals are doing to our body. It's just literally aging us faster than ever.
Oh, I saw you gonna tell an old woman, take this off of me right now, because honey, I'm almost 52. I can't be wearing these things like this. Like I need to stay. Don't go faster. Like we don't want to go faster. But what's crazy about that, we have noticed a difference in how we have, look at our teenagers, our kids in the 20s look so much older and developed and worn. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it'll be dehydrated.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, if they're weathered, they get the leathery skin. That's dehydration. So that's from the EMFs dehydrating our system and our environment. And then also chemtrails dropping barium on us. That'll dehydrate our fascia. So we need to take silica to counter it and just really get good, structured water with minerals in it to counter it.
Give us an example.
Well, silica or diatomaceous earth is really good. But Gary Lineham talks about that. The silica is the framework for our body. So you got to really keep that hydrated. The EMFs, we just got to really get extra voltage out of our system. So that's a big thing. So we got to get grounded outside in nature, go barefoot, have a picnic, lay down on the earth's resonance, jump into a body of water, touch a tree, hug a tree if that's your thing, whatever it is, go get outside in nature because that's how our body batteries work. Eileen McCusick talks about it. We get a negative charge from the earth. We get a positive charge from the unpolarized light of the sun. We breathe in minerals. Hopefully we get it from our food. And then we drink the water for minerals and conductivity as well. So if you're missing any one of those components, it's really tough for your body to operate on full system. So if a battery in our flashlight goes out, like you can't have light. It's the same with that charge of our body. We don't have the energy, when we lose that polarity.
So let me just make it for the people like me. I'm gonna just summarize that. Because I say it all the time, being outside is important. Grounding. I love being outside, hug a tree. I'm from California. I will hug a tree. When I moved here, I know people thought I was crazy. Like, oh, is she hugging? My husband used to take pictures because he's just like, she's crazy hugging a tree. But if you have not hugged a tree, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend hugging a tree. It's the best feeling ever. Listen, take your shoes off, walk in the grass. I put on my Instagram, I'm on the lake. I put my feet in the water. I am all about being outside. And from all those things that Justin was saying, I think that's what he was meaning too. Make sure your body is getting the natural minerals, the natural vibes, from nature. Right? Am I saying it right, Justin?
Exactly. And that's the nature is designed to help facilitate healing us. And that's one of the most missed pillars of health is to get into nature and get her resonance back in your body so your body can stay charged. Like it's literally one of the missing things. You don't hear a doctor go, oh, go get grounded. Like, no, take this drug. Like, oh, geez. Yeah, here we go again. Here's the quick fix. No, the quick fix is go outside and connect with nature and her resonance because we're one with her. And then when you can't, like we hand mine grounding bags, we hand mine crystals and we put them in our grounding bags. And we have one of the leading natural EMF protection products on the market. We sell them through doctor clinics because it's nature's resonance in a bag that you can bring into your home. That would be like walking barefoot in a bag in your home.
Let's talk about it because I need one, and everybody on here do too. I'm outside, so if I need one, you need one too. Let's talk about what comes in the grounding bag. And first of all, before we do that, how can we stay connected with you?
Well, yeah. So athleticism.com, EMFRocks.com are my two websites, and Instagram at EMFRocks or Athleticism Neurostacking I get a little more vocal on that one because I want people to understand what health is and unlearn what industries have taught us what health is. Like that's the big difference. That's where my message is and my voice is. Like telecom saying 5G is the next greatest thing. Well, it's not. Auto industry saying electric cars are the next greatest thing. Well, no, they want to reduce the usage of electricity. How do you make a car that relies on electricity? Like you have to plug it in and use like a lot of electricity to use that vehicle. It just doesn't make sense. And then it's 18% lower testosterone for anyone driving it, because sitting on a massive battery is not good for your health. So I'm going to be the guy that gives you that awareness and empowers you to unlearn what these industries have sold us for their profit as health, but it's not health.
Come on, Justin. Come on, preach to the people. Preach to the people, because I am with you 100% when you talk about preventive, like when you said about the healing power of outside, and that was one of the things that I had to have a hysterectomy, and a partial hysterectomy. And it was a long time ago when I lived in California. And, you know, you have to walk, and I'm like, and I am active. I'm always out there. So I told my daughter, I want to walk down the block. And she was like, I don't know, Ma, I really don't. And I was like, no, let's do this. Oh, Justin, I made it like to this. We have this big, huge tree, and I literally like, I'm going down. I'm not gonna make it. And I grabbed that tree and hugged on. I mean, when I said I was holding on to that tree for dear life, but I felt better. I stayed there until I was like, had the strength. And I thanked it for giving me the strength. And I turned my black butt behind and went home. But it was great because it was a healing sensation. I encourage people all the time to take forest baths. I'm sure you know about that, you know. I really think that nature is healing, and that everything is connected, just as you say. So let's talk about your grounding bags. What does that consist of?
So we look to the earth to get grounded, because that's what everyone does. So when I saw this, I'm like, I got to look to the earth. I'm not going to make a resonance. There's so many pendants and man-made resonances out there that they embedded in a sticker or a pendant, and they're selling those as EMF protection. I'm like, that's like eating GMO food. That's throwing another fake resonance in your environment, and your environment kill us or allow us to thrive. But why would we want to put more fake frequencies in your environment? That doesn't make sense to me. So we literally hand mine crystals, and that's what's in our grounding bags. You put one of these grounding bags as is, put it between you and your husband at the head of the bed, where you won't bump into it. And if it's under the bed, make sure it's touching the leg of the bed. I assure you, you will sleep. We guarantee it 3% to up to 60% deeper. That is how powerful the healing potential of the earth is. Dr. Rodney White just did a sleep check. He's had disrupted sleep his whole life. 3 months straight, 60% deeper sleep.
Well,
even wearing wearable, he had to track it with a wearable, and 60%. It creates a coherence between us and the environment. If your bed's touching the wall, it's charged to level the outlet. We live in these things we call homes, but they're really electrical boxes. Like, it's electricity. That's low level radiation all the time. It's different. When we can create a coherence by getting grounded, then our body, we convert these one directional waveforms into ones that are unpolarized. Our bodies accept them, and we can get into those deeper dream states. So it's kind of a simple concept.
How do we get them? How do we get our bags?
Yeah, EMFRocks.com.
EMFRocks.com. All right. Well, we're going to get us bags, but you are on this platform because I'm all about living fit. And when I say fit, I mean focus plus intention equals transformation. And I love how you have totally done that. Like, focused in on even the wearables and how it's disrupting our system, our natural system. So I applaud you, and I am in awe of you, and thank you so much for this. This is like really important stuff.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate your awareness and openness to unlearn and change and use your devices, not let them use you.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. Before we go, I got to know this. How do you take care of you? What does your self-care look like?
Oh, so I was in the ocean this morning. I did ocean swim, and then I get grounded. I go barefoot walking. We walk the dog outside barefoot. So every day I'm barefoot and then in the ocean, no wetsuit, cold water therapy for a half hour to an hour, swimming, diving, surfing, whatever it is. Like literally every day, no matter the temp. The temp today was, I don't know, 65-ish. Like, so I'm doing my work, but I create proximity protocols when I use devices. So my computer's hardwired, my home, the electricity in our bedrooms turns off. We have a switch that turns off the electricity from the electrical panel in all the bedrooms at night. Wi-Fi goes off. Hardwiring's better, so I recommend everyone just hardwire. But that's how I'm living my life. We use Faraday bags. We have EMFRocks has our Faraday bags. We put our phone in it when we're not using it. It saves the life of your battery, slows down data harvesting because they're taking all your information. So that's why the life of our batteries don't work, because every app you have on your phone has about 1 to 15 trackers on it. So they're just aggregating information and sending it to AI, and they're using this as surveillance marketing, and ultimately they can track and trace and control a lot of what we do. So I want to slow down that aggregation of information. So we're using products in that way. So that's kind of how I run my life. I really get outside and get aware, and I smile a lot, and I'm always grounded, and I'm eating clean. It's quality, quantity, frequency of rest, exercise, hydration, nutrition. I own my power. And those are my main pillars for health, but I'm definitely not avoiding anyone. One quick note, there's a book called The Invisible Rainbow by Arthur Furstenberg. I want everyone to read it. It talks about the history of electricity in life. And before 1889, they called the flu because it would fly in and fly out with solar flares and cosmic shifts. So when there's a full moon or a cosmic shift, there's a frequency that changes and it messes with our REM patterns. And just as the same as when they rolled out radio waves in 1918, the Spanish flu, or the Hong Kong flu, they rolled out satellites and World War II radar, in the last several years, 5G, like it messes with our body. This is our body adapting to its environment that is polluted by invisible waveforms. That's what's happening when our bodies are polluted. If I surf crappy water, I'm going to get sick. My body's going to adapt. If I'm bathing in millimeter waves that are 10 zeros faster, am I with new bandwidths, my body's going to be like, what the heck is that? I'm going to get sick and adapt to it. That's what's going on. Absolutely. So that's how I live my life. I'm not afraid of viruses. Like, they're our adaptive system. They're firemen at every fire. I live my life just understanding it's all about your bioterrain and building your life force and keeping your chi strong, because your chi is indicative of your chemistry in your body. That's first, is your biofield. As Bruce Lipton would say, your health lies in your energy field. The chemistry in body is secondary to that.
There's nothing else to say about that. That is all she wrote. I love it. That's a great ending point. And thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate this. This has been eye-opening for so many of us that I know we got to go back and listen to it again. Like, wait, what did he say? Listen to it again. Wait a minute, what did he say? And then this is one of those. So check it out, you guys. I thank you again. Until next week, it's your girl, Elizabeth. And I want you to live fit. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. But guess what, you guys? I have a great announcement. Escape from the stress of everyday life and find true bliss with our all new program, Blissful Escape. Starting in January, this program is designed to transport you to a world of mental repose and calm. Join us as we explore various techniques and practices to help you unwind and navigate your stress. Don't let the busyness of life consume you. Take a break and embark on a journey toward a more harmonious and fulfilled existence. Make 2024 the year you prioritize self-care and discover the transformative power of well-being. Spaces are limited, so don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to create a sanctuary within your busy life. Register now for Blissful Escape. It starts January. Make this the time to choose you. Go to misfit1.com/blissful-escape. Make sure you are taken care of. Remember, live fit.